Hey guys, Carl from Purple Moose Plays. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Bullet from Level 99 Games and designer Joshua van Laningham. This is a spatial puzzle game that's sort of based off of those bullet hell shooters, in which players face off against each other, against time, or against bosses, hoping to clear their own player boards of bullets and launch those bullets at their opponents looking to take them out. What that means is that this game has a head-to-head competitive mode, as well as a cooperative time attack mode and a cooperative boss battler mode. And both of those cooperative modes can also be played solo. For my playthrough today, I am going to be taking a look at the boss battler as a solo game. Before I get to the table, I should let you know I was given a copy of this game as a review copy. But as always, I will do my best to offer my own honest opinions on the game. With that said, let's head down to the table for my solo playthrough, and I'll meet you back up here to let you know what I think. To set up a solo game of Bullet using the boss battle mode, begin by choosing a character and a boss that you will be battling against. For the character, you need to take the character board, the action board, and the sight board in between. And for the boss board, you will use the opposite side of the character's both board and action board and combine them to form the boss board. Next, place shield tokens on all of these circles on the boss board aside from the top circle. And then place this AP marker at the top of your AP track. Next, take the boss's deck of cards, shuffle them up, place them here in the pattern deck area, and turn over the top card as the starting active pattern for the game. Then do the same thing, taking the character's deck, shuffling that up, placing it off to the side, and then dealing 3 cards face up as your starting patterns. Finally, to complete setup, take the center bag with all of the bullet tokens inside and set that off to the side. And then take one empty bag, which is going to be called your current. And that's going to be the bag that you're playing from during the game. For the first round of the boss battle game, you will be playing with 10 bullets, so you do need to take 10 bullets at random from the center bag and place them into your current bag. The boss battle mode of Bullet will play out over a series of rounds until my character has all of their health areas covered by a bullet, effectively killing my character, or I've managed to destroy all of the shields of the boss. In this case, we will need to destroy 5 shields in order to win the game. On a round, I'm going to begin with the action phase, and in the action phase, we're going to be drawing bullets out of our own current bag, placing them onto the board. I'll go ahead and place the first one now so you can see how that works. You're going to take a look at the bullet. It's going to be represented by both a color and a number, and what you need to do is place this in the column matching the color down a number of open spaces from the top of the board equal to the number on the token. So in this case, a yellow 1, I will place it in the first slot on the yellow column. And before the end of this round, I will need to have placed all of the bullets in this bag onto my board. So in this case, I will be placing out 10 bullets. But while I'm doing that, I have a couple other options that I can do. First, we have some actions that we can take by using our AP or action points, and I'm going to show those to you right now. First, by spending 1 point, I can move any bullet left, right, or down. By spending 2 action points, I can draw another pattern card, and I'll explain what those do in just a minute. By spending 2 points, I can move a bullet in one direction equal to the number printed on that piece. So if I was moving a 3, I could move it 3 spaces in any direction, any one direction. For 1 point, I can simply add +1 to the total of my next pattern, and I'll explain that a little bit later because that's unique for Ling Ling. And then finally, you see this star. This star I'll explain when I show you some more tokens in a minute, but some of the bullets have a star on them, and when those bullets are cleared, this will automatically trigger. And all this says is I will gain 1 extra action point. So in addition to spending action points to trigger these actions, while I'm placing bullets on my board, the main thing I want to do is build patterns to send bullets at the boss, hopefully destroying the shields in the process. And to do that, I'm going to be using my pattern cards over here. But before I show you Ling Ling's pattern cards, I want to show you one from another character because Ling Ling is sort of special, and I want to give you an idea of what a normal pattern card looks like. A normal pattern card might look something like this. And if we look at this card, what this tells us is in this location, I must have a yellow token. In this location that has a circle with nothing except for the star printed, I need to have one of any token. In this circle with dotted lines, I cannot have any token at all. And then anywhere with a bullet or a star pattern are going to be bullets that are fired at the boss if I successfully have this pattern on my board. Now Ling Ling is going to be a little bit different because she's not shooting any specific bullets. Instead, she has this sort of special rule printed on her player board right here. And this says that when she makes a pattern, you'll notice, I'll show you in a minute, the patterns have plus symbols in them. And we're going to add up the number of all the tokens in those plus spaces. And if that total is between 6 and 9, I get to clear or remove or fire off 2 bullets that are outside of the pattern I've built. If the total is 10 to 12, then I clear up to 3 bullets outside of the pattern. And if that total is 13 or more, I have to clear 3 bullets within the pattern that I've built. And I mentioned before she has one action ability that I can spend 1 action point to add +1. So that's going to help me hit those different goals or different ranges so that I can remove certain bullets and fire them at the boss. So a pattern might look something like this. This tells me I need to have 5 bullets in a horizontal row. I must have 5 bullets. And these are all plus. That means I'm going to add up the total value of all 5 of these tokens. And then we'll look at those ranges that we just talked about and choose which bullets we're going to fire at the boss. Same thing here, except now I have a pattern of 4 in a square. I would add up all 4 of those. And this one shows me sort of a T-shaped pattern of 4 bullets that I must have. But this also says I need to have the space below it completely empty with no bullets in there at all. And then again, when I have this, I add up those 4 and we'll check those ranges to see what I can do. And you'll see how that works as we get into play. So I'm going to keep doing this, adding bullets from my bag, using action points to manipulate those bullets in certain ways, and ultimately using these patterns to fire bullets at the boss. And you will see above each of these shields, there's a range of numbers. This one says 5, 10, 15, and 20. The next one also says 5, 10, 15, and 20. Actually, all of hers say 5, 10, 15, and 20. Because I'm playing a solo game, we're going to use the leftmost number, which is a 5. So I need to hit her with 5 bullets to break 1 shield. If I do not manage to hit her with 5 bullets in a single round, those bullets will stay there until the next round. But as soon as I clear that number 5, so if I hit her with 6 bullets, for example, I will break that shield with those 5 bullets, and that last bullet that's remaining will also be cleared. If I break any shields at all bullets will be cleared. But if I'm able to break or shoot her with 10 bullets, then I will actually break 2 shields on the same turn. But again, if I have anywhere between 5 and 10, they will still all be discarded back to the center, even though I've only broken 1 shield. If it is less than the 5, though, they will remain. So we could say, for example, if I'm shooting her for 2 bullets and it puts me at a 6, I might hold off on that 4 until the next round and then hope that I could get 10 in the next round, hitting 2 shields and not wasting any bullets. So that's something we need to pay attention to. After I've placed all of my bullets and I've decided to pass and not use any more patterns, that will end the action phase. Then we move into the end phase where I simply draw cards back up to 3 cards. And the cleanup phase where I return my action points back to 7 points. Then finally we move into the boss round. In the beginning of the boss round, what's going to happen is the boss is going to activate their pattern card. And the boss's pattern card is a pattern that I need to do, or I need to have on my site during the boss phase to prevent this from happening. So in this case, I need to have 5 bullets in a vertical column on my site. And if I don't, this says I will flip all of the blue bullets in my sight face down. And that's a problem because the next thing I'm going to do is check to see if I break any shields. And when I do break a shield, there's going to be something written on the board. And in this case, what it says is face down bullets hit you. And that means that if this flips over all of the blue bullets in my sight, and then I trigger that shield, that face down bullets hit me, all of those face down bullets are then going to go into my health area over here. And again, if this is ever completely full, we lose the game. It's also worth mentioning, I completely forgot to mention before, while we're placing bullets on the board, if they would be placed off of this column, means down here, they will instantly slide over and hurt us as well. So we need to make sure that we're not filling in these columns too much without manipulating them by actions or using patterns to clear up the board. But hopefully that becomes clearer as we get into the game. So after we check if the shield is broken and trigger whatever it says underneath the shield, we will then draw bullet tokens from the center to put into our current bag based on the number that is showing in the bottommost revealed circle here. So in the first round, we're going to play 10 bullets, but then it would be 12, 12, 13, 13, 15, and then this would be winning the game, so there is no number under that one. So the more that we're doing damage to her, the more bullets we will need to place each round, and therefore the more difficult it will be to avoid having bullets go out the bottom of our sight and therefore hurting us or killing us to end the game. And then finally we will reveal a new pattern for the boss and we'll begin the next round. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and get into the playthrough, and hopefully any things that I didn't explain well or that I've forgotten to explain will show up while we play. Alright, so I need to start placing bullets in my sight. Let's see how we do. Got a blue one. I've got a yellow one, so again it goes in the top of the yellow column. Okay, here's a blue 4. So we start here 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this blue 4 is the star that I was mentioning before. So if I manage to shoot this bullet at her, we will increase our ability points by 1 for firing off this star. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes there. 2 yellow goes there. Now we need to be careful because 4 is the highest number, and if I got a 4 yellow right now, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would immediately hit me. So I do have to be a little bit careful about what we're doing right now. But there's not a whole lot of stuff that we can manipulate right now easily without spending a whole lot of points to make one of these patterns. So I'm going to keep drawing and just hope I don't get a yellow 4. All right, there's a red 4. A blue 2. All right, so now blue is a little bit dangerous as well. But I don't really want to move all of that stuff around yet. Ah, yeah, here we go. I can move this blue down 1 and this yellow one over 1, and we would get this bottom pattern because there's an empty space here. 4 and 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 would let me clear 3 bullets outside of the pattern. The other problem I want to pay attention to, though, is this blue line. If I can get that pattern, that's great. Or I should try and clear all of the blues off my board so she can't hit me. But anyway, let's go ahead and do that to AP to move that there, move that there. And we're going to activate this pattern, which means 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 10 to 12 means clear up to 3 bullets outside of the pattern. Actually, no. For 1 more point, I can trigger this +1 to add 1 to my next pattern. So I'm going to use 1 more point to make that a 13, because then I can get rid of 3 bullets in the pattern instead. And I'll get rid of this 2, this 4, and this 2. And because that 4 was a star, I get 1 AP back again. And I'll place these off to the side just so that they're easier to see than placing them on top of the board. And we keep drawing. Red 2. A pink 4. And finally a pink 1. All right, so I want to do my best to get rid of that blue 1 or she's going to hit me with it, because there's no way for me to make a column of 5 blue at this point. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's not going to help. I need to build a pattern that doesn't have that blue in it. If we move this 1, 2, this 1, 1, 2, and this 1, 1, 2, that's 2, 4, 6. We only have 5 points. I can't do that. Okay, we can do that. All right, I'm going to use 2 points to move this one any direction, the number that's printed. So that's 2, I move it here. And I'll do that again to move that here. Now I have this pattern of 4, which is 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is not enough to do anything, but I will use my last action point to add +1 is 6. With a 6, I clear 2 bullets outside of the pattern. I'm going to get rid of this pink because in the next round I want less bullets in the same column. And I will get rid of this blue one so she doesn't hit me with blue. And then I will pass for the round. So I draw back up to 3 cards. I increase this back to 7. And we check the boss. I did not get the 5 blue in a row, but she has no blue bullets in my tableau or in my sight to flip back over, so I'm safe. I do have 5 bullets here, so I am going to break this shield. These all go back into the center bag. Now, the next number showing is a 12, so I will need to add 12 into my current. And then we reveal the next boss pattern card, which says we need 3 pink in a row diagonally like this, otherwise all of my pink will get flipped face down. And again, remember when we break one of her shields, anything that's face down will hit me. So either we need to eliminate all of my pink bullets or make sure that they're in that pattern at the end of the round. All right, so we move on to the next round. Let's start drawing some bullets. A yellow 1. A pink 1. A red 3. Yeah, these are not great because I've got already 3 in a row, but they're all super low numbers. So even if I add them together with this one or this pattern, here's the new pattern. This pattern says I need to have 1 bullet here of any kind, and I'm going to add the bullets above it. So even if there's no bullet above it, that's fine. All I need for this card is a single bullet. But again, this is 4 and this is 3. I need at least 6 to do anything at all. So let's keep adding. There's a 4 green. I'm really hoping for no pink 4 or yellow 4. There's a 1 green. All right. Well, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But that's going to take 4 to move. I could move this 4 here and this 1 here and have 5 in a row. But that's really not going to help me right now. Well, let me draw 1 more and see what happens. There's a 1 green. All right. Still not great. I'm going to use 1 action point to draw 1 more pattern card and see what happens. All right, we got a diagonal pattern card. That might be a little bit more helpful. I need 4 in a row. I can slide this 4 up here. No, I can't. I can't go up very easily. Well, I could slide a 4 over. Either of these 4s can slide over to fill that spot and then put a 1 in this spot. We've got that. Would be 4, 5, 6, 7 would let me clear 2 bullets. That's not horrible. Looking at what we've got though, I'd like to keep this 4 and 3 together in case we can activate that big one. So I'm going to move this one over for 1 point and move, this yellow one over for 1 point. I already have a 4 green, so I'm hoping there's no more 4 greens, but there might be 4 yellows coming. So let's plan that way. Then we trigger this diagonal. 4, 5, 6, 7 is between 6 and 9. I can remove 2 bullets outside the pattern. So I'm definitely removing a pink. And I'm looking for horizontal rows. So I would like to get rid of that pink. I could get rid of the other pink. Or I could get rid of that green to increase my AP. Let's do that. I'm going to get rid of this green and get 1 more point back. And that was this diagonal card. We've got a pink 2. A blue 2. 1, 2. That's a shame. Because all I need is one more here, and I've got my cross. But I can't move things up very easily. Yeah, let's see what happens next. A pink 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, now I need to be very careful. Because I don't want to hit more pink, and I don't want... Yeah, if I get anything higher than a 2 in pink, I get shot. So let's try and do something. I need 5 vertically. Or 5 horizontally. Or this one. I can spend 2 to move this here and use the 3 and 4 as a 7 to take away 2, but I don't know if that's going to be good enough. It would mean I get rid of these 2. Yeah, let's do that. 1, 2 moves this here. I'm using this pattern right here, which says I need 1 bullet, and then I add up everything above it in the next 3 slots. So I'm using this 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So I will remove 2, which are those 2 pinks. And we have to keep drawing. We still have a few left to place out. Blue 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yellow 3. 1, 2, 3. I've only got 3 moves left. 4, 8, 12, 15, 17. That would be cool. But there's no pink there. I'm kind of worried about this pink, but it may not be the end of the world right now. The problem is I'm not going to get to 10. So let's keep going and just push our luck. There's a 1 green. That's very safe. What's left? Oh, that's all of the bullets for this round. Good. Okay. So I'd rather not place more than 1 more bullet, because anything above this that's not 10 is going to get trashed. So let's see what I can do. I've got 3 action points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, that only loses 1 bullet. Okay, so I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 to move this bullet here, 1, 2, 3, which completes a full horizontal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 means I remove 2 that are outside of that line, so that pink gets shot. And let's see. Something in this row because I'm running out of space there already. So let's get rid of this 4 green. Boss's turn. I don't have the pink thing, but I don't have any pink bullets to flip over, so I'm okay. Before that, though, I should draw back up to 3 cards. And I should increase this back to 7. Again, the boss can't hurt me because I don't have any pink bullets. I have more than 5, but less than 10, so I will trigger 1 more shield. These all go back into the center bag. The boss draws 1 more pattern card, which this case is a diagonal yellow row this time. So we need to eliminate yellows or rearrange yellows. And we now have to put 13 bullets back into our bag. All right, so we've got a lot of stuff on the board that I really want to start getting taken care of before I start drawing bullets, especially this red column and this yellow column, because there's already 3 in each of those. But I don't want to spend a ton of action points. We could use this new one that says I need bullets in these 3 locations, and I add those 3 up. But that would be a 2, a 1, and a 1, and 4 gets me nothing. I need at least 6. This pattern is cool because it doesn't have any requirements except a single empty space, and then everything diagonal from that empty space gets added together. So I could do 1, 1, and 4 is 6. That's not horrible. And then I remove everything there. Or I could move this 4 down and this 4 down, which gets me 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is 3 bullets outside of the pattern though. But I could make that be the 3 yellows. Or similarly, move this 3 here, move this 4 here. 3 and 3 is 6 and 4 is 10 and 1 is 11. Same thing, but then I could get rid of this 4, which gets me a point back. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so I'm gonna move 1 to move this here. Move 1 more to move this here. 3 and 3 is 6 and 4 is 10 and 1 is 11. So I get to clear 3 bullets outside of this pattern. So I definitely want to clear that 4 because it gets me a point back. And I want to clear a yellow, but I can't clear these 2 yellows. And this column is dangerous, but this column is also dangerous. But I do need to get rid of more yellows. So I'm going to, I can't get rid of either of these 2. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this green and one of these yellows. Hold on, I need to start planning about what we're doing otherwise. Yeah, that's okay for now. All right, then we draw some bullets. Let's hope that we don't get a yellow 4. Blue 1. Hold on, I need to discard this pattern that we just used. Green 4. That's a problem. That wasn't yellow I was looking. This is a green. 1, 2, 3, 4. That 4 hits the bottom, means we get hit by that 4. All right, I need to pay attention now because we could be in trouble. Yes, we got problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't help. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna keep drawing and see what happens. Green 3. Okay, now I absolutely have to stop. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me that vertical column. 1, 2, 3 gets me there. This is not great. All right, so I'm going to use 2 to move any token, the number written on its piece. Means this 4 goes 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. And then I'll use 1 more to move it down like that. So now we've got this pattern right here. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is going to give me 7. So I get to remove up to 2 bullets outside of this pattern. So not 4, not 2, and not 1. So I definitely want to get rid of this 3. This is bothering me, but this bothers me more. Now, we need to be sure, be careful. This space is not part of the pattern. This just simply means we need 3 spaces between this bullet and this bullet. So I'm allowed to remove any of those 3, just not this one, or this one. So I'm okay removing that one. Yes, and we will stop there. Okay. All right, let's keep pulling and see what happens. Hopefully no more big greens. Pink 3. 1, 2, 3. Red 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, now red is dangerous. But I don't really have any good way to make a column of 5. I'm tempted to use a point to draw another pattern to see what happens, but let's draw another bullet and see what we get. Yellow 2. 1, 2. Huh. Horizontal again, but no vertical. We can get a 6 if we do vertical. If I move this 1 here and this 3 here, but that's not great. Because that only gets rid of 2 more bullets, and I'd rather not. But let's see what happens. Green 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's a little bit better. But that yellow 1's going to hit me if I do that. I could move this 3 here and do that 5. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 clears 3 bullets off, but not from there. And those greens are gonna be a big problem. Yeah, I need to take another pattern and hope for the best. All right, this pattern's cool. These 2 pieces need to be the same number with 1 space in between them, and I add up the numbers on the 2 above each of them. Which actually right here we have a 3 and a 3. So I'm going to add these two and these two right now, which is 4. But if I move these two down, that's 7 plus 1 is 8. But then I have no more action points left. But that may be my only option. Let's draw a bullet and pray for the best. I've got lots of bullets left to place. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I have these 2 3s. These 2 3s would be 3, 6, and if I can slide that down is 9, 10, then I can clear 3 bullets, but I couldn't clear that one. 9 is no great. But let's... red is going to kill me. All right, I'm going to use 1 to slide this down. I don't want to slide this down. I'm going to use 1 instead to add a +1. I'm using this, but then I don't get this one back. Hold on. Yeah, there's no easy way to fill that hole, unfortunately. Because I would love to have this green one go away. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm going to do the same thing I just said. Move that down 1. Add +1. So we've got 3, 6, 9, and 1 is 10. I can get rid of 3 bullets outside of this pattern. So I want to get rid of the 2 yellows for sure. And I should probably get rid of this 4 red. But my other pattern is this vertical. And I might get lucky to get something in there. It's the only thing I'm thinking about right now. So I'm going to get rid of this green instead. And we'll see if that comes back to haunt me. We got a few more bullets to draw too, which is going to be deadly. Yep, there's my 3 red. 1, 2, 3. I get hit. Yeah, we're in trouble. There's a 2 yellow. There's a 2 pink. There's a 2 yellow. I'm in serious trouble. If I can draw a 2 red right now, life is great. Otherwise, that's gonna be game over. That's a 4 red. 1, 2, 3. Dead. We move to the boss. Unfortunately, I did not get that pattern, which means all of the yellow bullets flip face down. And we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is only going to break 1 shield. Breaks this one, but it says face down bullets hit you. I get hit by this bullet. And unfortunately, we did not win the game. I was just defeated by the fugue in D minor. All right, so while we're down here, let's take a look at the components. Everything you need for the boss battle mode obviously is right here on the board. These tokens are simple cardboard tokens, but they've got a nice weight to them. They're pretty sturdy. I don't see any problem with them. Now, the deluxe version of the game does come with really nice wooden tokens, and I haven't seen them personally, but I have seen pictures of them, and they look wonderful. So if you can get them, I would probably push that you might want to check those out. But these tokens, as they are perfectly good enough, if not better than good enough. My only one small complaint about these tokens is the one sheet that I had that came with these tokens on them. On one side, everything is printed sort of off center, but it doesn't really bother me. And as I said, the other side is perfectly okay. So I've just been playing with that side face up. But otherwise, all of the tokens are great. The bags are simple canvas bags, but they're nice and sturdy, well stitched. I mean, they're not going to be falling apart. They've got nice drawstrings. You can keep all the bullets in the center bag in the box. It's very, very convenient. The cards they're a little bit flimsier than I'd like, but you don't really shuffle them all that often, and they're not something you'll ever have in your hand. These are just patterns that sit on the table. So for that purpose, they're perfectly good enough. There's no linen finish. They're just a smooth gloss finish. But again, as far as the quality goes, I wouldn't complain, but they are a little bit flimsier than I'd like. As far as what's printed on the cards, they're very, very, very clear, very easy to read, very easy to understand what they say. So in that case, I'm very happy with that. Now, the player boards, again, are double-sided. One side is the actual character, the other side is the character as a boss for boss mode, which is very nice. I like that they did that, sort of took the character and reimagined them as an evil enemy character. That's pretty cool. The artwork on all of these things is great. I really, really, really like the artwork. I mean, some of it is a little bit fan service with the female characters a little bit, but overall, I'm very, very happy with the artwork on everything in this game. Everything is very easy, very clear, very understandable right away. The only other components in the game, these aren't used in the boss battle mode, well, at least not in the solo boss battle mode, are these teammate abilities. If you play with more than one player, obviously the solo game is just a player, so there's no teammate, but you have these abilities that you can use to sort of share things with your teammates or work with them in different ways to fight. And also, in the standard multiplayer version of the game, there's also these power-up abilities that you can take every round to give you unique power-ups when you're competing against your opponents. Again, those are a nice, thick card, the same sort of material as the tokens. No complaints at all, very clear, very easy to understand what's printed on them. Finally, the last thing I do like to look at when I look at components is the insert for the game. This game doesn't really come with much of an insert per se. It's sort of got one of those cardboard inserts that you get to keep things from jostling around in the original shipment of the game. So there's not a whole lot of insert here. All of the cards and things fit nicely into this trough with the instruction manual right on top and the bags and so on. Everything fits in here very well. There's lots of empty space. If you took out this insert, there'd be a ton of extra space. So if you do end up getting expansions for this game, you can probably keep quite a bit in this box. But as far as inserts go, there isn't really much of an insert to speak of. With all that being said, meet me back up top and I'll let you know what I think about the game. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. That playthrough didn't go so well, but that's how this game tends to play out most of the times that I'll play it. We'll talk about that in just a second, but first what I want to tell you is this. This time around, things really are just going to be my final thoughts on this game. I've played this game many times, but even with all the times that I've played it, there are still many characters and many bosses that I haven't had a chance to try yet. There's a lot of content here in this box, and I don't want to represent this game as if I've played it all and know it all from front to back. I have played it a lot. I do understand the mechanics of the game. I have tried many different characters to see the variation or the variability in this game, but I cannot represent myself as having done it all and learned it all and known it all. So I'm going to say this is definitely more my final thoughts than a strong strategic review of any kind. With that said though, let's get into the game and what I think about it. First things first, I did just say this sort of semi-brutal loss that I just had is semi-normal for my playthroughs of this game. I have played this game probably about 15 times at this point. Actually more than that because I've played it on Tabletop Simulator a few times and I haven't, taken note of those games in my count. But the point is this, of all of those times, aside from one of the bosses that's almost an instant win unless you really mess things up, I've managed to win one time. And that's saying something because the next thing I'm then going to say is, even though I seem to lose almost every single time I play this game, I cannot stop playing this game. I really enjoy what this game is presenting. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it again. I'm a big fan of spatial puzzles, and this spatial puzzle reminds me of something, not only the bullet hell theming that goes into this, but this spatial puzzle itself reminds me a lot of a puzzle video game. Not necessarily Tetris because we're not fitting things in here, but there are a lot of those spatial puzzle video games where you're moving things around and interlocking things to build patterns, and those patterns trigger and maybe erase themselves from the game or whatever it is. But this has that feeling to it. But I don't know why, but for some reason I enjoy this more than I do those video games as well. Something about pressing your luck, right? The press your luck piece is a big thing. Pressing your luck to see how those bullets fit into your personal sight area, that player board. Hoping that you can fill them in, to fill in the right slots, to complete a pattern, to launch those bullets at the boss. And not only launching those bullets at the boss, but keeping in mind, I've got enough to break one shield. Do I keep going to break another shield? Or do I stop now and hold those for the beginning of the next round so I can fire off a ton and hopefully break 2 shields next round? Because remember, if you break 1 but not 2, you lose all the bullets in between. So that sort of push your luck aspect of triggering the patterns is great. But you always have to keep that in your mind, because not only that, you have the ability points you can use to rearrange the bullets. But this is where I tend to do poorly, and it's probably my own strategic or tactical thinking at work here. But I always tend to use those ability points too early, or those action points too early, moving a bunch of stuff around, wasting my points, and then remembering, oh yeah, I've got a bunch more bullets that I need to add to the board. And now either I've filled in holes where those bullets could have gone, or I've wasted action points to make patterns that may have naturally been made by adding those bullets from the bag onto the board. So there's this real good balance of pushing your luck to get as many bullets as possible onto your sight board to make sure you can get those patterns, but not too many that they go off the bottom and hurt you. But then also balancing that with the actions and rearranging and moving things. So sometimes you want to move those bullets to make the pattern for the boss so that the boss's ability doesn't go off at the end of the round. But sometimes you want to use those actions to make your own patterns to launch things at the boss. Sometimes you want to use those actions just to move bullets out of the way so you don't have a lot in a single column, so that when you draw something from the bag, you're not likely to bust and have that go and hit you. And there's all of this going on, and I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy every minute of it, and I keep going right back and going right back. And the game is short enough that even when you lose, you could just throw it all back in the bag, or all the bullets back in the bag, swap out a new character, pull out a new deck, and you're ready to play it again. It resets very easily. Now, talking about the reset, the initial setup of taking everything out of the bag and placing everything out on the table, it's not instant, it's not quick. It will take a little bit of time to get everything set up. But the nice thing is that I said, because the game plays so quickly and the reset is so easy, every time I take this out of the box, I'm not going to play it one time. I'll play it 3-4 times and just really get into it and really enjoy this game. So this idea of a quick game that's really brutally hard, but that really offers a challenge. Like, I don't feel that it's hard because it's random and I can't keep up with it. I feel that it's hard because there are patterns for each character and there are patterns for each boss that I really need to figure out to do well. And because I keep trying different characters, and because I haven't really dug in real deep with any certain matchup of characters, there are certainly patterns and certainly tactics and certainly strategies that I don't know yet that are there. And that's why I'm not doing as well as I probably could be doing. But I don't care. It's still fun to play. And each of these characters, this is something else we need to talk about, is that each of these characters is super unique. Both bosses and the main characters, right? I showed you one of the cards at the beginning of the game that had the normal targeting pattern. So you have to have a certain thing, and then the certain bullets that are listed on the card will get fired off. That's sort of the normal pattern. But there are other characters that have certain tokens that go on the board, and based on the location of those tokens, things happen. There's the character Ling Ling that I used in the playthrough this time, that it doesn't matter the bullets that are being launched in the pattern. The pattern is simply telling you how many bullets and from where you can launch those bullets. So it gives you a little bit more option about how to fire the bullets, but it might be a little bit more difficult to get the pattern to work to do that. So just all of the different ways that the different characters follow the same standard core mechanisms in the game, but tweak things in such a way that the patterns that they're building are different, the way that the patterns trigger bullets that get fired is different, and then the bosses are different, right? The boss you saw me fight right now gives me a pattern, and if I don't match it, it flips over a certain color to the other side, and then when I hurt the boss, all of those flipped over bullets hurt me. And not only that, but those flipped over bullets don't count as color, don't count as number. And in my character that I played today, that didn't really matter so much because hers are all based on numbers. But again, those numbers, if it's flipped over, there's no number. It doesn't count towards that total if it's part of the pattern. And certain other characters, most of the other characters, have patterns that require certain colors in certain spaces or certain numbers in certain spaces. And if they're flipped over, you can't do that. But that's just one boss, right? There's another boss that every time you hit them has another pattern. And they just keep building more and more and more patterns so that you're sort of overwhelmed with all of the abilities that the boss is doing against you. There's another boss that moves your bullets in one direction or another on your player board. So you could have all of the bullets here slide to the side, and any bullets that go off the side of the board get shot at you. And then you have to think about not only making the pattern so that doesn't happen to you, but instead of eliminating certain colors like I did, eliminating certain rows or columns to make sure things don't go off the side of the board. So there's this wide variety, and again, there are things that I haven't even seen yet because I haven't gotten through all of the different characters and bosses, but the variety is there. The game length is quick, but long enough that you feel like you've actually got some planning to do in order to do well in the game. So this combination of push your luck, spatial puzzle manipulation, usage of abilities to manipulate a puzzle, variability in your character, variability in the boss that you're playing against, it just all works together to make a really, really, really nice package that I really strongly recommend, at least as the solo battler game. There's also the co-op mode. I haven't played the co-op mode. It plays similar to the solo, but you've got those team up powers that seem really interesting, that you could sort of take a hit for somebody to save somebody else. And that seems interesting. But there's also the competitive mode. And I also haven't tried that yet either, but I look forward to trying that a lot, because the idea that somebody else is doing the same thing that I am and shooting bullets at me while I'm shooting bullets at them just seems like a whole lot of fun. And again, I haven't gotten into it. This is mainly a solo channel on YouTube, so what I'm presenting to you is the solo mode. But I look very much forward to digging into the competitive mode on this as well. And on top of that, if there wasn't enough variability in the box already, there's already a mini expansion, Bullet Orange. This is Bullet Heart. Bullet Orange is already coming out, with adds a couple more characters, and there's also Bullet Star, which is going to be a big box expansion from what I understand, that's going to add even more characters. And those characters, again, on the back have bosses as well. So there's just more and more and more content coming out for this game, and the system is a whole lot of fun. So to combine that and to just keep getting more twists and more changes and more variation on this concept, I look forward to having more of this in my collection for sure. And if this looks like a game you'd be interested in, I definitely recommend you look into adding it to your collection as well. With all that being said, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe below if you did, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.